One Piece chapter 1166, man. Let's get to it, man. I'm going right at it. Okay, we got a cover page that's colored, and we got my girl Yamato on the front. Damn right. Yamato. She's joining that crew. I don't care what anybody says. And Loki's going to join. I want them both. I think both of them are part Ancient Giant. No, Loki is full Ancient Giant. But Yamato, I think she's part Ancient Giant. That's where I think the horns come from. But that concerned me because I like Yamato. But then if Loki joined, I want both of them to join. But if Loki joined, I'm thinking, well, they already have the Ancient Giant. So maybe no Yamato. So I panicked. But we can have both of them. Okay, let's see. We got Usopp, Chopper, Usopp. We got a raccoon or something like that. Then we got Usopp. Then we got Zoro. Then we got Usopp, Sanji, Usopp, Yamato, Usopp, Luffy, Usopp, Nami, Usopp, a fox, Usopp, and then another raccoon, Usopp. And I forgot what the girl name is, the one with the that helped him out, Wano. Then we got Usopp, and then we got man, what's her name? The pink ninja girl. Shido or something like Ushida. Something. I can't remember her name. But yeah, then we got Usopp, and then we got some foxes on the bridge, and then we got Usopp. And then Luffy's wearing a One Piece shirt. Okay, I mean not shirt, a jacket. And then my man Zoro, he's wearing like some type of military jacket or something like that. Looks like cloud camo or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. The rest of the straw hats aren't in this. So we missing Brook. We got Usopp. We missing Jinbei. We got Usopp. And I think that's it. We missing just them. Okay, so here we go. Rox is laid out, played out. He should have stayed out. The aftermath of the battle. Did they really break the curse? Oh, they broke it, all right. Because Rox is back in his normal form. He's back in Davy D form. Okay, now Roger and Garp are both laid on the ground. They're wiped out. Both of them. Both of them. And Rox is back up. Say Rox ain't gangster right now. He could take them both out. But we know they're both alive. So that means that Rox spared them. He spared them. Okay, come on, stay alive. This island is what? Damn it, it's too late. Roger, Garp, run. Can't get deleted here. So the God's Knights show up. We got Summers. We got what's his name? Alpine. What's his name? Garling. Where did I get Alpine from? Garling, and then we got the new one, the one with the horns and the that one God Knight with the horns looks crazy. Yeah, that one I'm talking about. We got her, and she has a sword as well. She's a swordstress. They're coming. Rox is still conscious. Garp and Roger are out. I think Rox is he's gonna perish saving them. All they did was break the curse. He's still up and running things. Say he ain't gangster. Say Rox ain't gangster. I dare you to, so I can do something to you. Okay. Oh yeah. There's one more thing I wanted to say. So we got Garland going right at the Rox. Thanks for stopping me. So I'm assuming Rox is talking to Roger and Garp. Oh no, yeah, no. This is Rox talking the whole time. I thought it was a narrator. Okay, so Rox, I think, is telling Roger and Garp to stay alive. Okay. Yeah, that's what I think is happening. Now, Garland is the one that's going for the delete shot. He's about to push the delete button. He's getting ready to push the delete button on Rocks. Now, remember back in the other chapter, Rayleigh and Gaban, Dulce and Gabbana, they stayed back on that island. They said we ain't leaving the captain. They wanted to get crunchitized by Captain. Okay, thanks for stopping me. How's Rocks? Here go Gabbana. Here go. Wait, hold on. I didn't realize this. But we should call him Rayleigh. He's wearing like something similar to what Zoro wears. He's got like a full on like a robe, a throbe. He's got a throbe like he's in O Block. Got throbe on. Now Gabbana saves he saves Garp, and Rayleigh saves Roger. Okay, then Gaban told Roger, he said, "Go home, Roger. Go home." Okay, you're worrying about the enemy? I'm your enemy too. Rayleigh, tell me what happened to Rocks. Okay, now what do they mean you're worrying about the enemy? Okay. So Rayleigh is asking about Rocks. Gabbana says, "Whoa, what you worry about Rocks for? He's our enemy." And then Rayleigh says, "You're worrying about the enemy too, because he's saving Garp. So Garp is their enemy as well. But Garp is a gangster. The difference between Rocks and Garp is Garp's not a pirate. He's not in direct competition. He's not a competitor. He's a combatant, but he's not a competitor. They're not competing for the same thing. You get what I'm saying? Like they're definitely they're on opposing forces, but Rocks and Roger were not just on opposing forces, they were also competing for the same thing. Okay, or something or similar enough. Okay, Rayleigh, tell me what happened to Rocks. Okay, he was deleted. Garling pushed that delete button. Wait, so hold on. While Rocks is getting deleted, Rayleigh went back and saved Garp and Roger. Gaban wasn't there because otherwise he would have known what happened to Rocks. What do you think the relationship of Garland is with his children today in One Piece? I think it's the same as the other celestial dragons. You know what I mean? They do whatever they want and that's it. So I'm not exactly sure how that translate to normal people. I think each god, each celestial dragon feels like they're like top notch. You know what I mean? I don't really think the relationships is really that big a deal. Okay, do you think Shamrock likes him? Okay, so that's a good point. I think it really don't matter. I think Shamrock is probably not going to like admire Garling unless maybe talk about strength or I think they all like look at themselves like super individuals. I don't really think they have the type of emotions you have for your parents. I don't really think they have that. I don't have the normal like I normally have. This thing just broke today. It broke. It just stopped working. But this actually looks good, right? As it is with just this. But I got shadows over here. But yeah, I don't really think they really care too much about their, parents. Look what Doflamingo did. Wiped his dad out, no problem. So I don't really think they have those type of relationships. I just think that's the birth giver. That's it. Okay, Shanks must know about Garling by now. He had to. He went to Marijwa. He went there. Okay, so Rayleigh, if I'm not mistaken, is the one who ran back, grabbed Roger, grabbed Gart. Gabbana, Dulce and Gabbana was still behind them. And Rayleigh got Roger and Garp through Garp to Rayleigh. Through Garp to Gabbana. And then Gabbana went ahead and had that little conversation with Rayleigh. Because if he was there, he would have known what happened. But this is similar to what the Zoro saving like Smoker. Okay, anyway, Roger may have been the one to tell Rayleigh save Garp. But this is a little different than no, it's not. Smoke and Luffy were both after Crocodile. So Luffy had that type of respect for him. Also, he's also a Death Fruit user. Okay, anyway, hurry. The island is collapsing. Don't let the pirates escape. Roger's ship is on the move. Fire. This event would leave no mark on the pages of history. Okay, now what the heck is going on? The sky split. I'm looking at something that's hard to tell what it is. It looks like the island just disappeared to an extent, like something just blew it up. Something is similar to like what's the name? Enel. You know how he uses lightning to destroy Skypiea and whatnot. Well, he didn't destroy Skypiea. Burka. It looks something like that attack. It's not the same attack that got Leloucia. Leloucia was just gone. It was just a hole left. There's something left of this island. Did Garp need saving? He said, did Garp need saving though? Would Holy Knights try to finish off a Marine? Yes. 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 Garp needed to be saved for a couple reasons. One thing is they might have known Garp saw Emu's form. Let's get rid of him. At that moment, they might have said, let's get rid of him. Also, if Garp was left on that island, look what happened to the island. You think they would care who left there? When Saturn showed up, he was taking out Marines left and right. Oh, you seen my form. You out of here. So, yeah, they ain't got no problem taking Garp out. Now, knowing that Garp didn't, Potato's asking why, I'm already answering that. But knowing that Garp survived this long and not snitched, Emu probably ain't got no problem with Garp staying alive at this point. Especially if it brings up questions about, wait, Garp is the Marine hero. What happened to him? We'd rather have him stay alive, especially if he ain't snitching. You know what I mean? So it ain't no big deal. Okay, this event, I already read that part. Okay, the crumbling island was swallowed by waves and consumed by fog, like curtains closing on a grand stage. Okay, we got that's Garp, Roger. I'm assuming Garp is on Roger's ship. What other ship was there? It was just Roger's ship there. Garp's ship left. I'm thinking this is going to be some clarification about Garp and Roger's relationship. They actually had time that they sailed together. That's what I'm assuming. Okay, now we got Whitebeard and we got Big Mom. Of course, Whitebeard did not want to talk with Polo Graham. But remember, this island just got blown to shreds. It just got blown off the map. So with that being said, Whitebeard might have said, you know what? Let me get on that ship, man. You said it's called the Polo Tang? All right, let me get on that ship. I guess the whole island got destroyed in the end. Right, yeah. So the whole they didn't care who was on the island. You know, the main thing they were trying to do was save the celestial dragons. It looks like the island is still some of it left. It don't look like Leloucia where it was just completely erased. You still see some of it left. Okay. The silence in the incident's wake lasted only a moment. Okay, now we got Kaido. Kaido's just flying around like nothing. He don't need no ship. See, this might be one of the reasons why Kaido doesn't have a ship for his pirate crew. I don't know if y'all knew that, but he doesn't have a ship. He uses his other crewmate's ship. So like Jack's, Queen's, or King's ship. Also, he can fly. He don't really need much of a ship. Also, he's a stationary pirate. He takes to the seas when he feels like it, but he mostly stays in Wano. So with that being said, he don't really much need a ship. You know, not a personal ship. It would just sit there. So that's one thing special about Kaido. He's probably going through the. You know what's crazy? He probably can go in and out the Grand Line, no problem. You know, right through the calm belt, all that. Especially with the way he flies, he doesn't need wind to fly. He uses those clouds, the flame clouds, so that he stands on in order to fly. So that should work period, no matter where he's at. This isn't related, but I need tour advice. You need tour advice. You get ready to go on tour? What is the better Oreo, the normal version or the golden? I'm gonna say the normal version is the best because I think that's what most people get. I think that's more popular. But me personally, I prefer the golden. Plus, my family's last name is Golden, so I prefer the golden Oreos. I know Uber was all about the white fudge. I got some golden here. Golden is, to me, is golden. But most people, I think, like the standard Oreo. Okay, here we go. We got Dragon, we got Shanks, and then who we got? Ivankov, we got Kuma, we got what's her name? Jenny. We got Blackbeard. Okay, before a massive ball of lightning split the heavens, and with that, the curtains rose for new tales to unfold. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. Wait a freaking minute. Wait a freaking minute. Wait a freaking minute. This might all be a coincidence / fate. Emu might have not destroyed God's Valley. Where's Burka? Hold on. Where's Burka? Let's look that up. But I think Inel's kind of young for this. And do you think? Wait, hold on. You think Shanks has ever met Dragon as an adult? Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? He stayed in Goa for a while, so yeah, absolutely. If he did, what do you think their meetup was like? I don't know. I have no clue. And do you think Shanks hates his brother? No. I'm hearing talks that Shamrock might be a traitor. You know what I mean? I don't see why Shanks would hate his brother. They met for a little while and then he left. He might not like him in terms of he don't like celestial dragons, period, because they're evil. But outside of that, I don't think he really much thinks about Shamrock. But yeah, hold on, let me check. We're gonna go to the One Piece wiki. We gotta go to the One Piece wiki. Okay, let's look up Burka. Where's Burka? Burka was a sky island far to the southeast of Skypiea. Now check this out. Southeast of Skypiea. Skypiea is on the Grand Line. Hold on. One Piece world map. Let's look. Okay. So I got the world map loaded up. Now you go on the Grand Line, you're gonna wind up between East Blue and South Blue, right? Now, Skypiea was on the Grand Line between East Blue and South Blue. What's southeast of the Grand Line of Paradise? West Blue. I know it looks like it's southwest, but remember it's a globe, so you can go west or east. But if you go east and go over the red line, that's West Blue, and that's where God Valley is. It's in West Blue. Maybe that was Burka getting exploded and happened to also blow up the God's Valley beneath it. God Valley is in West Blue. Right. That's what I'm saying. See, look, the Charles is in awe. He didn't know my intellect went that deep. Remember that LL Cool J song, Paradise? That was a banger. Yes, I do remember it. Also, the hook was written by 50 Cent. Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you? No, I'm playing. I think you did know that. But anyway, yeah, Burka's in West Blue, which is southeast of Sky Pier. See, told you I knew Savage knew. That is southeast of Sky Pier. Even though it's in West Blue is east of Sky Pier. So that might be the case that when Burger got destroyed, that could be it. Now let me look up some of these people. Enel, how old is he? He's 39. He's 30 freaking 9. Hold on. How old is Shanks? I think he's the same age as Shanks. I think the timelines might line up. When he was born, maybe he immediately after he was born, he used the he got the Del fruit and used the power immediately and destroyed his homeland. I don't know. Shanks looks old as F. No way he's 39. Yeah, no, Shanks is about 39. I know that for a fact, but I just want to be sure. Shanks. Because I know he's about 39. He could be 40. He could be 38. Let's see. Yeah, he's 30. He's no. What's he? Yeah, he's 39. Same age. Same age as Enel. Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence? He's the same age as Enel. Enel destroyed Bertha with lightning. Lightning also destroyed God Valley. Okay, Nell's the main protagonist. No, hold on. He talks about destroying the Sky Island, but I'm not exactly sure if he says that he was grown when it happened. I don't think so. We also gotta look at what you call him, my man, what's his name? Aruji, because he's a Birkin as well. Hold on. Look at it. We'll look at them real quick. Where's Aruji? How old is he? He might not be from Burka, but I think he's Birkin. He's 47. He's 47. It all lines up. And now got the rumble fruit. I think that's what it's called. No, is it? Yeah, I think it's the rumble fruit. When he was born, like shortly after he was born, and used it as a baby, could have been by mistake. Boom, destroyed Burka and God's Valley. He destroyed Burka and God's Valley. That's what I'm thinking. Think about these Sky Islands. Sky Pier, right over top of Jaya. Where's Burka? Where's Burka? Remember they said from the west, you can get into Sky Pier from the west, from Burka. Where's it at? Over top of God Valley. Right over top of that. Boom. Okay, the Straw Hats were in South Blue portion of the Grand Line. South Blue. No, they were in East Blue, man. Okay, of the Grand Line. Paradise. Paradise is in between East and South. But it's not, but they weren't in the South section. They were in East Blue and they went into the Grand Line. The Grand Line is not East Blue or West Blue. It's in between them. Okay, immediately before they went to Sky Pier. Okay, the splitting of the sky looks Conqueror's hockey related. I don't think it was Enel. Let's see. You says Conqueror's hockey related. I don't see black. I don't see black. Where do you see black? I don't see black lightning. This was like regular lightning. So it could be Enel as a baby doing this, or it could be somebody with Enel's fruit before that. What if somebody with Enel's fruit was the one who destroyed God's Valley, and then Enel destroyed Burka later on? But also, Aruji is old enough where if Burka was destroyed right here, right now, he's old enough where he could escape the island. Is that a coincidence? And y'all keep saying I'm stupid. I hate when y'all call me stupid. That's not no coincidence. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going. Whitebeard and Shanks didn't have black. Whitebeard and Shanks. Oh yeah, that's before they revealed Conqueror's Hockey. They didn't want to, because if they would have done that back then it'd have just been they wanted it to be foreshadowing. It'd have just been an outright revelation. They didn't want that. They did. I mean, like, look when they was knocking people out. We didn't know there was Conqueror's Hockey at first, and now they in the anime you can see everything turns blue. They didn't do that at first because it would have spoiled it. So that's the reason why when Whitebeard and Shanks, split the sky, they didn't have like black hockey going everywhere because they didn't want to spoil it. Okay. Still, hold it in. Just wait till Roger's up. Come on, Captain. I'm dying to open up the treasure chest. Shanks is gonna be in there. Roger, sorry to worry you guys. Yeah. We're thrilled. We're more importantly, check it out. Don't you care about me at all? Okay, wait, hold on. Who's the guy? I'm looking to see if we see anybody new. Okay, so they showing all the treasure to Roger. Gloriosa is on the ship right behind Roger, getting ready to faint. She getting ready to faint. She want him right now. She want him now. Not later, now. Okay, Shaki's safe and sound. She's all over Rayleigh. She twisting his nipples. She's sucking his neck. You know what I mean? She just staring at. She loving this guy. Okay, and we scored a ton of treasure to boot. What a great haul. Okay. Now Roger hears something. He's like, "Yo, something's up." Shanks is making noises in that chest. What the? It's coming from that chest. There's something in there. Open it carefully. It could be a gremlin. Jump out and get him. Okay, everybody's looking. Baby Shanks. A baby? There was some treasure still in the chest. It's not just Shanks by himself. Okay, Rock's pirates wiped out. Predictably, news coverage was falsified. Only one aspect of the story was highlighted: the heroism of Garp. I wonder why they didn't show Garp on the ship. Like, they should have showed Garp waking up and then seeing Roger or whatever. I wonder why they didn't show that, because I'm fairly certain that Garp was on the ship, or he is on the ship right now, or he was on the ship at some point. I doubt they gave him to the Marines. What they actually threw him to the Marines immediately? I don't know. All we know is Garp's ship, the one he came with, wasn't there. He told him to sail. Okay. What island is this? It's an island with some type of eastern houses built on it. Like circular, octagonal houses. Okay, let's see. It said it looked familiar. I don't know if we've seen this island before. Okay. It says here that the Rocks pirates have been vanquished. Somebody is celebrating. He's like, Rocks is going. Thank God, Rocks got deleted. Oh my God, I'm loving this. This guy is celebrating. I mean, like, they're just having a great time. They're like, finally, Rocks is going. But it's two different explanations I have for this. Rocks didn't seem as bad as they made him out to be. So maybe people just heard in the news about his exploits and thought that Rocks was just the worst, and that's why they're celebrating. Or also, maybe the people that's in this panel that are celebrating were his rivals or competition or something like that. Okay, I knew it. Vice Admiral Garp is the strongest. Garp, he's a hero. This island right here looks like England. It's got Big Ben on it. You know, the clock tower. It's on it. I'm not exactly sure what island this is though, but it looks like a European style, like style type island. Okay. Grand Line Navy HQ. What the heck is this article? Vice Admiral Garp. So Garp is at Navy HQ. So they did. So he wasn't on the ship. Well, he might have been on the ship, but they gave him to the Marines early on. Okay, I can't wait to get my hands on that Morgan's fella. Relax, Garp. He only wrote that stuff because the government paid him off. The government said, "Yo, don't put out that news." Okay, the world government and the Marines are massive organizations. If you count the members of the member nations' armies, we're talking about tens of millions of soldiers worldwide. It's impossible to account for everyone's actions and motivations. So if the top brass ever do strike me as insane, I'd simply turn a blind eye to it. Okay. So we're basically Sengoku knows ain't nothing you can do about the world government. It is what it is. He said, man, just go with the flow, man. Let them rock out. Garp don't want no. Garp did the same thing that Smoker did. Smoker didn't want the credit for something he didn't do. He said, I didn't take down Crocodile. That was the Straw Hats. Put that out. Don't put it out that I did it. You know what I mean? Now, Garp feels the same way. So here we go. This is the parallel between Garp and Smoker. Also, they both fight hand to hand primarily. Also, but what you call them, Smoker does have a weapon. Okay, it's just like I said, they're just another promotion chasing fool. Yeah. Oh. Garp is mad at Sengoku. He said you're just another promotion chasing fool. Meaning that Garp don't want to get promoted. He's like, I'm cool with Vice Admiral. Now he's like, yo, Sengoku wants to be Admiral, Vice Admiral. I mean, Admiral, Fleet Admiral, and all that other crap, right? And you already know how Garp feels about that. I think Sengoku looks at it like I can do more, with more power as far as the Navy goes. Shut up. What good can you do barking from the bottom of the see exactly what I just said. Exactly what I just said. He said barking from the bottom of the cliff. Sengoku led the Navy way better than Sakazuki. Sakazuki wants to take it to everybody. Akainu, man, he's way more militant. It's worse in his hands. So basically, even though this is a bad ship, I'd rather be at the helm and minimize the amount of damage done. Okay, if you ever stray and get corrupted, I'll delete you myself. So Garp agrees with Sengoku, but he's like, yo, but if you get out of line, you know what I mean, you're gonna put that belt to him. Okay, how reassuring. I guess that's what friends are for. They got into a little battle, what you call them. They both got a couple lumps on them from that little fight. So you're not quitting then, God. Idiot. There are still things at the bottom of the cliff that need a guard. This reminds me of Snowpiercer. You remember the movie when there was people in the train? It was like Akainu was a piece of poop. Absolutely. That's why Sengoku wanted to be at the top in order to prevent stuff like that. Or if he can, he might not be able to prevent it all, but at least minimize it. But remember, in Snowpiercer, there was somebody at the front of the train and at the back of the train, and they both was working in cahoots to control the people on the train. Even though the people at the front were rich and the people at the back, in the rear, in the last car, they were poor, right? And they were being taken advantage of and basically used as slave labor. And one of them was actually working with the guy. So Garp is the one leading in the rear, and Sengoku's at the top, at the front. Do you think Luffy would wash Akainu at this point? No, not wash him, but no, he probably won't even be able to beat him. Luffy beat Kaido under certain circumstances. Kaido was already had fought a bunch of people up to that point. And Luffy lost technically first into the last fight. And it was still a hard fight. Also, Kaido was levitating an entire island. And that island was not no ordinary. That thing was freaking huge. He was doing all that at the same time. And he fought multiple people. So Kaido was not at full strength. And then when Luffy fought against Kizaru, Luffy would have lost. Luffy would have lost. So with that being said, he ain't beating Akainu. Akainu supposed to be the strongest admiral. So he's not beating him. Okay, Elbaf New World. Okay, here goes Loki. You again? I ain't letting you. I ain't letting you on my ship. Okay, who's talking? Because this ain't Rocks. Rocks got deleted. Oh no, this is another flashback within the flashback. So Loki showed up again and said, yo, I want to join the Rocks Pirates. How many times I got to tell you, Pipsqueak, you think I want a brat on my crew? Now, Loki is crying about it. He said, now, Luffy. Rocks is laying in the grass, is enjoying his time, and Loki is talking with him. What is this guy? I mean, what is this? The guy I want ain't giving me the time of day, but his snot-nosed brat won't leave me alone. He said, man, go get your pop, man. He's supposed to join my crew. Go get him now. Hey, Rocks, I think you're Nika. I think you're Nika. Rocks is Nika, the warrior of liberation who will destroy the world while laughing. Destroy it? I'm aiming to be the king of the world. I can't destroy the world if I can't be king of the world that's destroyed. Besides, if anyone's got that sort of power, it's Harold. So I'm assuming that Rocks thinks Harold is the one who's Nika. Okay, so basically, Harold is Joy Boy, and Rocks is Davy Jones. It wasn't them. I think they both actually. I'm assuming that both of them are the inheritors of that will, but they're not the ones that was going to do it. It's going to be Usopp and Luffy. Okay, listen up, Loki. Somewhere out there, the Galila, or the giants that build ships, are slumbering. I think they're in Impel Down. They're an outrageous band of ravagers, and the only one who can put them back into play is your pops. I'm going to Loki. Loki's now the only one that can do it. So they're going to have to raid Impel Down again and get them out. I'm going to continue to rally the rogues of the world. So just imagine if Harold and I teamed up. He said, imagine if Harold and I. Loki's like, yo, what about us? Okay, teamed up. Who could possibly stop us then? Wow, that's awesome. So why aren't you and Pops allies already? Because of love. He said, how come my dad ain't on your ship right now? But because of love. And then it stops right there. They don't reveal what they mean by that. My first thought is because of not Impel Down there on Punk Hazard. Whoops, my bad. I messed up. Galila is on Punk Hazard. They're not on the they're not in Impel Down. I made a mistake. Okay, he beat Kizaru without too much difficulty, though. No, he ain't beat him. He ain't beat him. Kizaru was still fighting. Luffy wound up not being able to go into gear 5th. Meaning, if it would have been a drawn-out battle, Kizaru would have won. Yeah, I mean, he's strong enough to fight him, and he's beating him in gear 4th, gear 5th, for most of the fight. But I don't think Luffy has the stamina right now in order to really take Kizaru out. Okay, let me get back to it. I think that when Rock says because of love, it's because of the love Harold has for his island and his people. Okay, but I'm going to come back again and again. I don't care if it takes 100 or 200 meetings. Okay, now we see somebody holding up a newspaper. I think it's Loki holding up the paper and seeing that Rocks got taken out. Yup, because he's starting to cry, and Loki does have gloves on, so yeah, I'm thinking that's what it is. News. He hears the news about Rocks getting taken out. Okay, it's a vicious assault. King Harold. It's a vicious assault. King Harold of Elbath is what? Have any civilians been harmed? No, on a certain island. Okay, this is not on Elbath. Okay, Some he attacked another giant, some thug. It's quite a brutal scene. Okay, you still don't get it. Okay, I understand. I understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's hard to see these words. It's real small. I understand. Really, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll never steal from humans again. You don't get it. None of you do. He's beating up. Okay, so Harold is beating up a fellow giant. So one of the giants stole from some humans, and he said, "I'll never do it again." But Harold's still beating him up. Okay, huge trash heaps like you are responsible for the terror in our race's history, and that's why we can't be trusted. We only desire to peacefully engage with the world now, but they can't trust that, bruh. The way he's fighting right now, he's terrifying these people. I'm talking about King Harold. So you adding to it. Okay, Your Highness, he's already out cold. I didn't want to jeopardize Elbaf's chance of joining the world government. That was my only reason for not helping Rock. He's talking about Rocks. The only reason for not helping him. I hold on, I can barely see it. But it doesn't feel like Luck's on my side anymore, Harold. So Rocks basically said they here's in this flashback, Rocks was basically telling Harold, I might not make it out of this one. And Harold still didn't show up. I forsook my I forsook my closest friend as he closest friend. He considered him a friend, even though he didn't want to join the ship. Okay, friend, as he begged me for aid, I left him to get deleted. Oh, so he's taking his anger out on this giant, that the one that was stealing. Oh, he beat up a couple giants. It ain't just one. There's no turning back now. I will never ever forgive a giant who does evil. So now that losing Rocks then radicalized Harold. Okay, Giant King loses it. This is making his situation worse. Okay, Navy HQ, underground detention cell. Dragon is caught at the Navy HQ. Dad, I'm going to quit the Marines. Okay, Guard was like, all right, cool. He ain't got no problem with Dragon quitting, even though he raised Dragon to be a Marine. I'm assuming it's because he already knows about Emu and the evil that they're doing and whatnot. So he's cool with Dragon quitting. I despise you. And he says, okay. Yo, Garp throws him the key in order for Dragon to escape. Now, I'm assuming Dragon says he despises Garp because Garp raised him to be a Marine, put all that into him, got him into basically guided his life towards being, a Marine, and then look what the Marines do. Yeah, Dragon ain't gonna forgive him. Okay, Harold, I've made up my mind, Ida, Elder Jarul. I don't care about appearances anymore. Okay, Hydruden, Loki, you are both my precious sons. I want you to get along when I'm gone. Okay, and do what you can to support Elbath, Marine HQ. Is he going to attack the Marine HQ? The ships from Elbath. What? My apologies, King Harold, but my superiors have ordered me not to let you land. He gonna land anyway. Okay, this is where he breaks the horns off. And red liquids pouring all out of the horns. Okay, high-ranking Marines and leaders of the world government. He's standing right in front of one of them cannons, too. I ask that you please hear me out. Boom, breaks the horns off. Allow me to atone for the sins of the past 1,000 years. I apologize for every wrong. This is crazy how Harold is basically being used by the world government, and now he's even more into it now that he lost rocks. You know what I mean? And Dragon is the opposite. So they both were radicalized in the opposite directions. I apologize for every wrong the giant race has committed. The children of Elbath are being raised to live without harming others, so that one day they may walk hand in hand with humanity. I do all this to prove our unwavering commitment to peace. I'll do whatever it takes to atone for our sins, even if it means becoming a slave. And Emu's listening to that, it's like, Emu was like, yo, it's easy to manipulate this guy. And now Emu's like, oh, I got him. Emu is like, I got him now. Is there light at the end of at the end of this tunnel? No, I don't think so. Not this tunnel, maybe another tunnel. Luffy's tunnel, there's gonna be some light, but Harold, we already know he's gonna get taken out. So no, ain't no light at the end of this tunnel. Boom, rocks is going all that. Okay, let me check the comments real quick. Loki needs to stop being a beach. Pirates get deleted every day, B. No. I think this event is going to radicalize Loki and make him to what we see now. We still got to see why Harold went crazy. We already assuming it's going to be gangster reversing. That gangster reversing is going to be done on Harold, and maybe Loki's going to have to take him out because of that. The same way that Rock's supposed to been Harold's best friend. I guess they became friends after all the meetings and whatnot. After they became best friends, Rox wound up getting gangster reversied. Now Harold's going to also be gangster reversied. Rox had to get taken out by a rival, by two rivals basically, and then Harold had to be taken out by his son. Anyway, go ahead, leave your comments, like the video, and subscribe because I can't eat. I'm broken. You got the power to change that. Peace. Wait, hold on. This is pathetic from Harold. This is some cringy liberal guilt type ish. I agree, but understand the stress that he's under at this point.